I read an article where you said that when you first saw the script for Community, you would cut off your pinky to be a part of it. Would you have actually done that? Because I have made some pinky bets in my life as well.
Yeah, I cut it off. We used the prosthetic throughout the whole thing. So, I would have cut off, not my own pinky, someone else's,
Someone's
and then mailed
pinky.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's, and mailed it to Dan. But it was one of the best scripts that I've ever. It was the best pilot script I'd ever really read, and it was one of those ones where I thought, oh, I think I can play this character, and I did the world of getting a pilot is so crazy that you can, unless you're a gigantic star at the time, there's too many factors that go into trying to get the role. And I was still a baby when I was in contention for it. And I'm very lucky because Joe Russo and Anthony Russo and Dan they all wanted me. And so despite, like network concerns and studio concerns, and it goes on and on. It's all gobbledygook, but I would do it. Yeah, I would do it all over again as well.
Is it when you're a part of something like that and you know it's special while you're part of it? Is it weird to have it end and be like, I may never have that again in my life? Like that might have been the peak. Not saying that is your peak, but that might have been the peak of enjoyable and success.
Yeah, I mean, for the difficult task of, first of all, getting a pilot, which is still to this day for me difficult to get. I mean, it's not just, oh, here's another pilot go. I mean, there's also a lot of crap out there, but to get a pilot, to actually get it picked up, then to actually be on the air, then to get out of your first season and get picked up for a second season, again, is like hitting 2 hole-in-ones in a row. And so we knew the scripts were great, and I was always so happy when I would read them, because I have been at many table reads where scripts are a mess, and you read it on like a Monday and you realize you're going to be shooting in a week, and then you go, oh no, they have so much work to do on this thing. And that just never was the case with anything for Community except for season 4. And so we all really liked each other. We got along great. And that, if you guys watched any of that Community table reader, we are on a text chain, and we still talk to each other. And that is not the way that from what I understand, how it usually goes. But the other way it happens is, like, I've been in movies where you have this beginning, middle, and ending, like, oh, this 3 months is going to be with this small family, and it's really great. And then it's over. Whereas Community was 6 years.
Yeah, when you were auditioning for that, was there any additional pressure on yourself? Were you nervous in that, like more nervous than you usually would be because you liked it so much?
The really intimidating time, like when I was with Joe and Anthony and Dan, the creator, I was not nervous because those guys had my back, and they kind of said, you're the guy. Now we're just going to work with you. And that was great. So I didn't have that pressure. When you get into these network tests, which are the worst, again, this is inside baseball stuff, but it's the worst way to audition for anything, because you're auditioning in someone's office at like NBC or CBS. And there's 15 executives that are taking a break from their lunch so they can watch some actor in their friend's office act with a couple other actors, and it's totally unnatural. It would be like you guys doing your show from, I don't know, like 50 feet below in cold water. So you'd have to figure it. But anyway, it's just a terrible play. So the first time I read in front of all those executives and there's 4 other guys that are going up for the role that are all sitting in the hallway. You go up, you do it. So then they came out into me and they said, okay, so you did not get it. And I'm like, oh no. And then they're like, so come back in, we're going to put you on tape. And then we're going to show them the tape. And then so that next day I finally got the word that I had gotten it. But I sat in that fucking room, and then they're like, yeah, sorry. I got to a point where with network tests, because I'd done a couple of them, I'd walk in and see all the executives and be like, boy, you guys gain weight fast. And so I would just have to insult them somehow, or I'd be like, fuck this. And, I'd have to kind of undercut them to make myself feel better about what was about to happen.
Is there ever mind games or shit talking in the hallway with the other people that are going for a role?
I have never experienced that. I heard people do that. I knew a guy that got super high while he was waiting, or he showed up high to relax himself, and then he became very hungry. Then he went, and the thing was, because these things can take 10 hours sometimes. And so he was eating constantly. And I think they told him one of the reasons why he got the role, because it was like, we kept coming out and you just kept eating. And it was like for the role of someone like an Italian family, like that's what my family's like. So he got the role. And that person played Don Corleone. That's right.
I love it. That's so Marlon Brando spent like the last 20 years of his life. Yeah. When you were auditioning for Ted, was Mark Wahlberg just like, hey, take your shirt off, let's play some basketball?
I did not have to audition for Ted. That was a blessing. And because I rarely get things just out of auditioning. It's always like a friend of a friend. But no, I did see him. I met him. We did like a reading in Boston. And that was the first time I saw him up close. And I was like, dear Lord, how was your workout? And he really is he looks like, I don't know, he looks like Schwarzenegger. And I'm a big guy. And I'm like, dear Lord, what is your arms routine, my friend? So it's very intimidating. He's a very nice guy, though.